I know that when we read words in the Bible, they're not supposed to mean words the way you and I know words, okay? I get that. Do not be afraid. You're being tested so that you'll fear God. Do not be afraid, but we want you to fear God. Welcome to Joel Reads Bible. I'm Joel and I'm reading Bible so that you don't have to. I'm grateful for you being here. And today we are reading from Exodus chapter 20. That's right, this channel is very dry. There's not a lot of joking around. There's not a lot of glee, joy, or happiness at all. We are reading the Bible in a very dry, very methodical way. We are only speaking truth. We are only trying to enlighten you to know who God is, to have God revealed through His Word. Sorry, that was a little bit dramatic. That was a little bit theatrical, and I will not be doing that anymore this episode. For we do not do that here at Joel Reads Bible. We just solemnly read Bible. We're here at Exodus chapter 20. Now, in the previous chapter, you would have remembered that there was a mountain full of smoke, fire, and trumpets, clouds and lightning and thunder, because God was showing off as He descended to the top of the mountain where Moses and Aaron were going to meet Him so that He can talk to them directly, so that the people can hear and they will trust them implicitly. Simply what is going on at this time. Now, I must say that if you haven't subscribed, then you are a fool. You are a fool, the type of fool that says in their heart there is no God. Okay? Please subscribe if you want to stop being a fool. Ring the bell so you're notified when there are new episodes, like this episode. And also, comment on it. Say, yes, Joel, I have subscribed. Yes, Joel, I am commenting. Yes, Joel, I like the video. Say, I love you. You're my big bad Bible reading daddy. Okay? If you don't do that, then I will disown you. I won't be your big bad Bible reading daddy. Okay? Please do that now. Thank you. So we are reading Exodus chapter 20. And God spoke all these words. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. Slavery is bad, okay? One thing that we need to remember as we read the Bible, don't look at Exodus chapter 12, verse 44. That's crazy. Slavery is bad. We don't like slavery. God doesn't like slavery. Egypt was a land of slavery. The new lands, the lands of the Hebrews, are they going to be a land of slavery or just a land that has slavery? Who knows? We haven't gotten there. But here now, God is going to give commandments. One of them might be, don't have slaves. Another might be, don't have sex with children. We'll see what His commands end up being. You shall have no other gods before me. Okay? There are other gods. So if you are one of many gods, and those gods are in competition with you to the point where you have to turn water into blood just to show how powerful you are, then yeah, I guess you would say, you shall have no other gods before me. That makes sense. If this God is a narcissist, if he's self-obsessed, it's all about him, which we can see through his theater and pageantry of descending to the top of the mountain with trumpet blasts, with all sorts of other sort of visuals, then yes, this first command makes a whole lot of sense. I would say, I think that one is a bit useless. I don't think that's a command that we need to really worry about applying to our lives, especially if this is a fiction book. So we can throw that in the trash. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, or on earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Makes sense. Punishing the children for the sin of the fathers, to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. Wow. We just got the first message of love from God in the Bible. I'm pretty confident that this is the first time we've heard about love from God in this book. And what a claim he's made. First of all, you can't make an idol of any form. Like, I don't know if this would be considered an idol or if this is just a mug of Rolf from the Muppets. And I think that the way that this is written is that it only becomes an idol when you worship it. I think I'm allowed to have that mug, but it's just that I can't worship it. And that's fair. I don't want to worship it. It is a mug based on a puppet. But God is jealous. He's a jealous God, and he punishes children for the sins of their fathers to the third and fourth generation of those who hate him. And also all the generations of all time to two first people who ate a fruit because they were deceived. I don't think Adam and Eve hated God. At least that's not written there. But we are punished through suffering here on this planet because of that. So that would lead me to believe that Adam and Eve hated God, and he's worse than he's mentioning here. It's a good move. Like, I don't have kids, so I'm not going to have future generations. So if God hates me, I'm not affecting anyone negatively. But I guess there's probably people out there that are like, fine, screw over these people that I don't know and will never know that will exist. You know, that's on you, man. Like, I won't even be around. You want to punish future generations because of me? That's just cruel. Like, that's monstrous to some people who they won't even remember who I was, frankly. So that's you just being a complete bastard, honestly. Like, what a horrible thing. And by the way, that's not justice by any stretch of the imagination. If it's justice in God's mind, human justice, it's a lot more fair, you know? The way we've defined it is a lot better, I would say. It's not as horrific. But now he's also claiming that he's going to show love to 1,000 generations of those who love him. So where's that seen? Where do we see that? With the Hebrews? Is he showing love to the Hebrews by dragging out their slavery in Egypt until he finally gets them out of there after they've been beaten? But apparently he's showing love, and I don't know how he shows love. I'm a little bit worried because I don't think he really knows what love is. And I want you to show me. I think that what this verse is supposed to do is it's supposed to say, look how maybe not merciful God is, but look how fair he is. He's going to punish people to the fourth generation, but he's going to reward them to the thousandths. What happens if, like, this generation loves God and God's going to show them love for 1,000 generations, but 500 generations in, one of the generations hates God and doesn't keep his commands? Does he go, all right, that's it. For 4 generations, I'm going to punish you. And then after the 4, we're going to restart at number 501 generation. And then we're going to continue on with the loving or something like that. Like, I wonder what that system is. Because it sounds like it's just like words that are being said that don't really mean very much. I feel like maybe it is hyperbole or just like something they thought sounded cool. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. I know we hear you shall not take the Lord's name in vain. Don't misuse his name. I don't even know what that means. Like, in all honesty, put it in the comments if you know. I don't know what it means to take the Lord's name in vain or misuse his name. I don't know, like, oh God, like, I don't know if it's using it in those other contexts. But also saying, oh God, is one thing, but what about, like, no one's going around going like, look at your Yahweh damn face. Get your Yahweh damn face out of my face. You know, no one is using his name. Like, no one's going like, Elohim, Elohim, you know, when they're in the throes of passion. They're just saying God, which is a general term. Is God claiming that I am the I am? Like maybe that's the exact way he wants you to use it. Maybe he wants you to use it when there's violence going on. God damn, like maybe he loves that because, he loves violence and being barbaric and stuff. Or maybe he's a huge fan of like pleasure and stuff like that. So if you use it in the bedroom, maybe he's a fan of that too. We don't know. It doesn't really spell that out. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you nor your son or daughter, nor your manservant or maidservant, nor your animals, nor the alien within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. They are doing a throwback to that original myth, and that is how we're getting this Sabbath day. And that's the and this is why, I guess really, if I'm thinking about it honestly, it's a way to remember that this God exists and to sort of like show in a very simple way weekly that you acknowledge that God is there by literally not working. And especially if you do it the way Jewish people do it, where it's like from sundown on the Friday to sundown on the Saturday, you're not making food or doing anything. You're just like, you have the food pre-prepared or something like that. Like you're just not doing anything, no work. If this God existed, it would be like an indicator. Yeah, we get it. You're here. You exist. I don't know why he'd need that. I don't know why he'd be so insecure and jealous and all those things. Those don't seem like good qualities to me. They seem very human, and they're not our best qualities as human. Feeling jealous, that doesn't feel good, and demanding things of people doesn't feel good when they do it. It feels better when they do it freely. So far, I don't see anything really that valuable here. Love God best. Don't have any idols. Don't say this name of God in a way that you shouldn't, which we don't really know what that means. And then take a day off and remember God during that day, because he took a day off when he made everything. These are all kind of like fine, but they're not great. And so far, no, don't have slaves and don't molest kids. But we'll see. Those might come up. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. I honestly don't know what it means to honor your father and your mother. I could assume that. Maybe respect them. I can respect my father and mother, and I think that with anyone that you have any sort of interpersonal relationship with, anyone that you get to know, there are things you'll respect about them and things that you may not appreciate as much. And that goes for probably all the people that you'll ever meet ever, and everyone meets all the time. And if you're really honest, you'll be like, yeah. Oh, I love them. They're great. I love all these things about them. And I think that these are amazing things about them. They have a really skewed perspective on this, or I didn't appreciate this behavior or this kind of thing. And I don't know if that wouldn't be honoring my father and my mother if I felt that way about them, if I had critiques or something like that, or things I wasn't a fan of. I don't know if that means I'm not honoring them. Maybe I have to listen to everything they say. I don't know if maybe that's what honoring is. I don't know exactly what it means to honor them in this context. I don't know what the Bible means. But it does seem like a bit of a threat, right? So that you may live long in the land the Lord is giving you. Like, honor them so you can live long. Because if you don't, you're not going to live long. That feels like he's threatening. By the way, honor your father and your mother. If they're not honorable, I don't think you should be honoring them, whatever that means. You know what I mean? If they're not good people, don't obey them. If they're not respectable people, don't respect them. If they're awful, don't listen to them. Don't take their advice. You know what I mean? Just get out of there. I don't think this command is very useful. There's just too many variables to consider. You can't always honor your father and your mother, unless honoring means just like knowing that they exist or something like that. But like if you have to respect them or do anything positive towards them and they're just not positive people, I think this command fails. You shall not murder. That's a good one. Pretty straightforward. Don't murder. I think we can all get behind that one. You shall not commit adultery. Yeah. If adultery is sleeping with someone else when you're married, when you've made a commitment, before you've dissolved that marriage, that is horrible. That's unkind. That's breaking someone's trust that they had in you. So I would say it's a good rule, And other people might say that even if you get divorced, it's still adultery. Yeah, maybe. But then I'm not as bothered by it. But I'm certainly bothered by it when it is while you are in that committed relationship and before you have had a conversation with someone who assumes that you're being faithful to them and loyal to them, if that was your agreement. You shall not steal. I agree with that. I don't want to be stolen from. I don't want people out there stealing all the time. It's a real issue. It's a real nuisance. It can be really devastating as well. So that's a good one. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. So is that a court type thing? Is this something to do with, the whole judicial system they set up? Don't go lying about your neighbor. I always thought it was thou shalt not lie, but it doesn't really read that way. It's like, don't go make up a story about your neighbor just to get them in trouble. And I think that makes sense. And by the way, I came down on God for rewarding lies. In Abraham and in the midwives, this is not about lying. So lying is on the table. You can lie, just don't kind of lie specifically against your neighbor. All right, sounds good. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife or his manservant or maidservant. Those are slaves, by the way. His ox or donkey or anything that belongs to your neighbor. You know how we know those are slaves? Because they belong to his neighbor. Oh, I'm coveting that slave. I want that one. So by the way, in the 10 Commandments, it so far isn't saying don't have slaves, but there are 2 commandments that mention manservants and maidservants, which if you were going to read this with any kind of intellectual honesty, if you were going to be like, all right, fair enough, they are, by all accounts, going to be slaves, right? Like, I know we want to play the game that these words don't mean slaves, but come on, they're slaves. But anyway, you're not going to agree to that if you're a Christian, so don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't know. I think that this one of not coveting your neighbor's house and any of their stuff, their wife and that kind of thing, I think that one's more for the person, not for the neighbor, but for the person that is doing the coveting. It's probably not a great place to be coveting other people, right? It's like, I want that. I mean, there's a type of jealousy. Now, God's jealous. He's coveting the attention that we give to other gods, and he's not. So he kind of does some coveting himself, but he doesn't like coveting when we do it. Everything's fine when God does it. God's allowed to covet. But if you are, jealous of your neighbor and you start coveting his stuff, it's like, that's not a good feeling. You're just going to be sitting there like wanting something you can't have. Or worse, you're going to go and try to get the thing, and then that's going to mess with your neighbor's experience, and it's not going to be nice for anyone. I kind of like this one for the person. It's like, don't be jealous. Don't be like God. Like, don't covet other people and their things. Just be happy with what you have. Don't look around over your shoulder at what other people have. I think that's a good advice. And it might even be, other than the, big ones like murder, stealing, and adultery, it might be the best commandment. It's like the 4th best commandment. When the people saw the thunder and lightning, I think that's the end of the commandments. So nothing about banging kids, which, by the way, is a big problem. That's why I brought it up. It's a big problem in our world. and even in the world of people who read this book. And nothing about not keeping slaves. On the contrary, we have mention of what are probably slaves, but are just basically having servants. Okay, well, I'm not super satisfied with this set of rules, these commands. Most of them are useless. I think 4 of them are useful. And they're not even useful in the sense that we would need them to not murder or not steal. We're on that. We know that we don't like that. We don't really need this thing to tell us that. I think the coveting one is probably the best one because we do covet. As human beings, we'll covet. Like we'll look around, we'll be like, ooh, I like that. You know what I mean? And this is like, don't do that. You're not gonna. It's no way to live. You know, it doesn't say that. I'm kind of probably being a little bit too charitable here, but not coveting will keep the peace amongst people. You'll appreciate your neighbor more if you don't allow yourself to covet. It's hard to not covet when you're coveting. Like when you see someone, it's hard to not start coveting. It's hard to curb that because it's really an involuntary reaction, right? You're like, ooh, I want that. Oh, I want that. But anyway, when the people saw the thunder and lightning and heard the trumpet and saw the mountain in smoke, they trembled with fear. They stayed at a distance and said to Moses, "Speak to us yourself and we will listen, but do not have God speak to us or we will die." Because he's so loving and he's so tender. And cast all your cares upon him. We'll die and lay all of your burdens down at your feet. Moses, you talk to us. God's terrifying. He's too scary. And anytime I don't know what to do. What a sweet lullaby. God's gonna kill us. He's gonna kill us if we have to hear from him. Please. You do the talking. We trust you, Moses. We trust you exclusively. Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid. God has come to test you so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning." I know that when we read words in the Bible, they're not supposed to mean words the way you and I know words, okay? I get that. Do not be afraid. You're being tested so that you'll fear God. Do not be afraid, but we want you to fear God. And by the way, this is like just saying what it is, right? Like this is saying what it is. It's right here. What is this all about? Well, it's keeping you in check. It's making sure you don't do things we don't want you to do. We want this society, this people, this nation to not sin. We don't want them to do things that are lousy. And we want everyone to have a day off. We don't want anyone to do murders. We don't want anyone stealing. The coveting is going to keep people, a little bit more content. Don't start lying about your neighbor. We don't want a bunch of cases coming up that are lies. Everyone be honest, please. And honor your father and your mother, because that's part of this governmental system. They're going to lead the house, and then, we're going to keep everyone in check as kids. And we also have to get them to teach you so that you already follow these rules, okay? Don't be afraid, but you're still being tested so that you'll be afraid and not sin out of fear. These words all mean something different, I know. Hey, apologists, jump in the comments and tell me how fear doesn't mean fear. And afraid probably does mean afraid, and that a test is different than a normal test. Even though God knows the end of the test is still a meaningful test. You figure it out and get back to me. The people remained at a distance while Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. We're usually scared of the darkness. God sent a horrible, thick darkness all over Egypt, terrifying everyone. They can't see anything. They can't leave the house. He's a villain. He's dark. He's ominous. He's not like a vessel of light and goodness and love. And why does he keep on wanting to be associated with this dark, scary imagery. I don't understand. Oh, I'm so powerful. Look how I can kill all sorts of firstborns. Like, then the Lord said to Moses, tell the Israelites this, you have seen for yourselves that I have spoken to you from heaven. Do not make any gods to be alongside me. Do not make for yourselves gods of silver or gods of gold. He's like, I want to reiterate one of these. I'm not going to add anything right now, but I don't want any idols. And guys, don't worship any other gods. It's all about me. You've seen me, right? I was scary enough, right? Like I scared you enough, right? I'm the only one, okay? We don't want any diversity of ideas. It has to be all me and my ideas and my guys, my voice boxes, one-way communication of one message that may end up being a little bit conflicting, but the point of it is I'm in control and Moses is in control, and from the top down, we control everything. Don't allow other voices. I don't want other ideas out there. It's all me. Let's keep all of this as me in a sort of like governing sort of way. Make an altar of earth for me and sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and fellowship offerings. What are these fellowship offerings? Your sheep and goats and your cattle. There's always different offerings that happen. There's always new ideas that God has. He's like, let's get some new offerings. We were doing offerings back in the day. We were slicing up animals. We were burning animals after the ark. Only the clean ones. We didn't have that many animals. We still killed a bunch of animals. Then we almost killed the boy. Then, changed it to a ram. Then, we got into the Passover thing. And then we were like, it's going to be this time of year. We're killing all the firstborns of the animals. Now he's like, okay, let's do this fellowship offering. This is a new one. Let's do sheep, goats, cattle. Wherever I cause my name to be honored, I will come to you and bless you. Wherever I cause my name to be honored. Like, man, this book is written in such a funny way. I'm like, being somebody that like really picks it apart here a little bit, and I know that people do that. They hang on every word. And so we're kind of doing that here a little bit. Wherever I cause my name to be honored, you're causing that, God? So where's the free will in you causing your name to be honored? What does that look like? Like, you're causing your name. Who's honoring your name? People, I assume. So you're causing them to do that? How does that work? How are you making that happen? I'm guessing it's got to be an infringing on free will. I'm causing people to honor me, and I'm going to bless them for it. And you can't say anything about it. Those people that I don't cause to honor and I curse, those people who I don't cause to love me, but I cause to hate me, that I punish, everyone deserves to be punished. Every inclination of their heart is pure evil from childbirth. So, can you really blame me for that? Well, yeah. Because if you can cause them to honor your name, and you don't bless them, then you've just chosen which people to curse. It's all on you, buddy. Thanks for all the suffering. No thank you for any free will. If you make an altar of stones for me, do not build it with dressed stones, for you will defile it if you use a stool on it. And do not go up to my altar on steps, lest your nakedness be exposed on it. So I guess because they're not wearing underwear, they just wear those robes. If they go up on steps, Oh no! I saw the balls. I saw this. Yeah, he's a Hebrew. Okay, I can tell you. I did notice he's a Hebrew. It would have been nice to have binoculars. Just joking, but I could tell he is clipped. But yeah, please, I don't. As an altar, I don't want to see those balls. I feel like I took too long with this, but it is the Ten Commandments. That's a big deal. I think I did enough ranting already, so I'm just going to leave it there. Guys, come back next time for chapter 21. Let me just say this. Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.